Hello, welcome to the Trading Bell. I'm Noakip Kimboy, and today we will focus our conversation on the SME sector. We understand this is majority of the businesses on our continent of Africa, but are we doing enough to empower them, especially right now where there is a digital migration? What are we doing? What tools are we providing to the SMEs to empower them? I will have a conversation with Rosemary Momanyi-Opiyo, who is the SME lead at Google for East and West Africa, to help us understand some of this nitty-gritties. But before we do that, let's take a look at her profile.
Rosemary is an alumnus of the American University, Washington, D.C., where she got her MBA, and the University of Maryland College Park, where she got her undergraduate degree. Before joining Google, she worked for EABL as the Group Head of Innovation and later led marketing for the spirits portfolio in East Africa. She joined Google in 2012 as the first industry manager for Kenya in LCS, and after 4 years moved to Google X as the deal maker for Africa, responsible for helping get the first deal signed for Project Loon in partnership with Telkom Kenya. Currently, she is the ads marketing lead for East and West Africa, supporting small and medium businesses to recover and restart post-COVID-19. She is also a mother of two, a 5-year-old daughter and 1-year-old son.
Thank you very much for joining us on Trading Bell, Rosemary.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Starting off, Google, actually SME, you are the SME lead at Google, and you've been creating products. Over the past 1 year, we've had COVID. There's been a lot of evolution in the business world. Looking at the products, let's just start with the SME Portal. This is a space that you've created. What exactly does it do?
Yes, it's a powerful tool to help any SME be able to find all of our products in one space. We did some work last year during COVID, did some initial research to understand how we can be more helpful to SMEs. And we came up with 3 need states that SMEs require. They need access to tools and services, they need access to customers, and they need finance. And so we developed all these tools over the last few years to provide those to SMEs, but they were all over the place. It was hard to find them. It was quite complex. So we built this SME portal as the one-stop shop for all of our products that help SMEs, so they can easily come to this one place and find what they require to help them grow their online presence. That was the main goal, to help them grow and have a simplified way of finding what these tools are to help them make that journey possible.
That's very important. Actually, looking at the discussion that we normally have around SMEs, one of the biggest barriers that the SMEs themselves mention is always the financial bit of it, saying there's no adequate capital for SMEs to withstand the market forces and remain relevant, even to break even. Looking at Kenya, a lot of these SMEs do not survive, to the 5th year. And that's quite unfortunate. So looking at the financial bit, first of all, you say that is part of the elements of this particular toolkit, an array of toolkit that you're offering. How exactly does that function before we take a look at the market access?
No worries, yes. So the case to first of all help the SMEs become market ready, right? How do they become market ready? We help them by helping them, of course, be found by customers looking for them. Then number 2, help them help them grow so they can be able to qualify for the financing. And then we work with partners across the continent who are microfinance, who are banks, who are lenders, right? So we help the SMEs first of all become market ready. They have they can be found, they have a good product offering, they have a ready pipeline of potential customers. Then when they go and apply for funding, they can be eligible to get that funding from our partners. So we're able then to list on our portal who our partners are that can provide funding to these SMEs when they have become market ready. That's very important.
That's actually very important to note. First of all, you become viable. Then somebody can take a risk on you with their finances.
Exactly. And so we equip them to become viable. We give them the tools. Most SMEs right now, unfortunately, they work from either the back of their car or they have a small shack somewhere. And so when COVID hit, they could not be found by customers because we wouldn't be going out anymore. So our first step is help them first develop an online presence. And these tools are free. We walk them through how they can build an online presence, and then how they can then grow that presence and be found by customers looking for them, and then build a ready pipeline for themselves. So when they go and apply for a loan, they can say, I can be found, here's my footfall, here's my credit worthiness, here's my pipeline of customers, I just need some support. And therefore you're able to take a risk on them because they have proven that they are viable for that support from the funder.
Yeah, and you know, the traditional form of access to credit in Kenya, actually SMEs are, and for a long time have been considered high risk. So you'd find even, you know, credit being channeled to the SME sector was a little bit limited from the financial institutions, the banks, the primary lenders, and you'll find these SMEs finding alternatives where they could raise money, you know, family and friends, and you know the challenges that those avenues do come with. So looking at this digital economy that we're moving in terms of looking at the risk and, you know, the collaterals that lies within the SME sector, is it changing now? It is more digital backed. For example, these are my social media followers, I've seen that, and this is my market, so you can bank on that?
Even better, we launched a tool called Market Finder last year, and this tool helps an SME discover what other markets they can export their products to. So for example, if you sell organic soap in Kenya, and that's where your base has been, you only know Kenya. But if you're able to so that you can find the same keywords for organic soap queries in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Rwanda, in Germany, in the US, the SME can now know how many are those queries for organic soap in those markets. And then who can I partner with to move from Kenya to Germany or to the US, and then export the products. The whole day, help them understand what is the potential, who else is looking for me outside of Kenya. And this tool will help any SME discover the open market that's outside of their current jurisdiction on where they can go. So those are what we look for: is what is your pipeline? How big is it? What could the demand then be? And this tool will help an SME discover that for themselves.
You've spoken about the pipeline and the potential market for Kenyan SMEs out there. From your observation and where you sit, what is this market? That is one. And secondly, so far, how have the Kenyan SMEs been able to take advantage of this market?
Right. So it's a really powerful question, to be honest, because SMEs right now don't know their potential, because most of them, unfortunately, have not been found by online customers. So our one ask is for any SME right now who's listening, is the first step you need to make is to be able to, first of all, come online. Then you can be found. When you do come online, then you can be able to understand how big your opportunity is, first domestically, and then also outside of your current jurisdiction. And so for them to take advantage of this, we always say, step number one, come online and utilize all the fruit tools available. We have a tool called Google My Business. This is a tool that helps any SME get found on Google search and maps. So if you were to look for, let's just say I was looking for a plumber, because my plumbing just happened at home and it's leaking everywhere. I would type on Google plumber near me, for example. And then what comes out on those results are what we call business profiles. So an SME can be able to now say, okay, fine, if I'm a plumber, let me make sure I am on that profile. I have a profile and I'm easily found by customers looking for plumbers. So they click on plumber near me, I find my first result, I see their phone number, I see their hours of operation, and I see how to call, how to reach them if they have a physical office, or they can come to my house. They come to my house, I'm able to give them a review and say, you know what, this plumber was great, 4 stars, or this plumber, please don't trust him, 2 stars, he was horrible, right? So by having SMEs able to showcase online and get found, they're able to grow, get reviews, and hopefully be able to expand themselves. So that's step number one. Step number two is, once they've been able to be found, it's so important for them to even create even more awareness of themselves. And we have a tool called Google Ads, which helps any SME do some very simple advertising, whether it's on Google search, one of our products, whether it's on YouTube, on our display network, so that they're able then to create more banners of themselves and say, you know what, if you're in Mombasa, if you're in Kisumu, if you're in Narok, here are the plumbers around you, and here's how to reach them. So it's a very clever way of building awareness by them advertising themselves on the various ad networks that we have.
That's very important. You're speaking about, you know, advertising yourself on YouTube. And a lot of Kenyans can't wait for the 5th second just to skip the ad. But that's a story for another day. In your capacity, you look at East and West Africa. Looking at the SME ecosystem in Africa, do they vary? How does the East Africa scene differ from West Africa, or what are the commonalities?
Very, very similar. In both markets, we probably have SMEs that are also very much drivers of the economy. So they pretty much drive the economy. They contribute the bulk to employment because they pretty much are the foundation of employment in the East and West Africa. And number three, they are also very nascent. They all don't know what's possible. So my goal is to really focus on educating them on how they can come online, and then when they're online, what tools can they then use, and when they have those tools, how then can they grow and expand. So very similar in terms of economical impact, nascency, and lack of very low awareness. But what's good is that they're able to quickly, because of COVID and this whole going online, they're all able to pivot very quickly to move from offline to online and learn quickly on what they can do to start thriving. So I can see that they're all very hungry and all want to succeed and are willing and ready to take up this whole pivot and move online to conduct businesses.
Just recently, the WHO said, Kenyans should brace for the 4th wave of COVID-19, looking at these different waves, but also how we overcome it. The role of SMEs in economic recovery. Has it been understated on the continent of Africa, or is it the future of Africa in terms of recovery from this pandemic we have faced?
If we're able to really help equip and empower our SMEs, because they contribute over 50% of GDP, 98% of employment comes from SMEs. Once we equip them, once we empower them, once we give them the tools, they will be the future of Africa. They will be the ones creating jobs, driving the economy. So they are our future, and it's my passion to ensure that they are able to succeed and to thrive now more than ever. So this is the time for SMEs and for women and also for youth as well. It's their time to rise up and truly take on this new role, because once you're online, you're at the same level. It's each man for his own. So whoever is able to be quickest to be online, quickest to begin to conduct e-commerce or begin to receive and make payments online, they'll be the ones to be ahead of the game. So right now it's like we pressed reset and we're all now bringing everyone up to the same point. So let us all move forward, and I believe they are our future for survival for the continent of Africa.
There is also a risk of creating an uneven playing field, for example, if you are, and I'm not saying we don't tax our SMEs, but it should be sort of a holistic approach, so that an SME in Ghana, for example, in West Africa, maybe they're paying zero tax, and for example, they're selling the same product. It will mean that maybe some jurisdictions will be more competitive than the others. Is this a risk that we should be worried about in the near future?
I think it's worth looking at what's been done in the thriving markets like maybe, I'll probably definitely say Rwanda. Rwanda is doing a lot right now to support SMEs by the government. So to look at which markets are doing really well to equip and empower and help the SMEs recover faster, and what can we borrow from them that we can adapt locally that we believe has already been proven and is working there. So we don't reinvent the wheel in Kenya. So I'll definitely look at markets like Rwanda that are doing really well, Ethiopia as well, and to see what are they doing that are really supporting the SMEs, and then begin to adopt them. That way we're able to level that playing field, as you rightly called out.
And okay, I won't generalize, but majority of Kenyans, we love music, and we saw during the pandemic. Now you can't go to concerts, and we saw utilization of digital platforms. People are holding online concerts where you pay, you're given access, and people are able to make money amidst the pandemic. For the creative industry, I know SME cuts across, but specifically for the creative industry, what lies for this industry, in the online world?
Yeah, I think coming up with ways that you can be able to get people to subscribe to your channel, whether it's YouTube channel or your online space so they can keep coming back. They pay you a small subscription fee and you offer them content that they can then come and choose from what they want, whether today I'm low, I want to pick me up music, or today I want to really go out and have a moment. So I think thinking about how you can be able to tap into building a good subscriber base for yourself that will help you hopefully get income at a slow bit. And then over time, thinking of innovative ways to diversify your content offering. So if I'm a creative, think of how can I get subscribers that will keep coming back to me? How do I keep my content rich and fresh so they can be coming back to say what's not new on the channel? And number three, how do I drive engagement? What can I do to get them to really interact with me? So I think if they could think on those three lines, they'll be on the right track.
Definitely, and there's always that disparity, you know. For example, the subscriber levels. If you have the same subscribers, you know, or the number of views, for example, in the United States, most probably you're making more money than the equal number of views in the East Africa. Maybe we can get another opportunity to discuss that in detail in terms of that market variability and where Africa plays in that ecosystem, because for the longest time, you know, creatives, they're really trying in Africa to monetize their content, and that streaming income, I think it's very important. But just from your YouTube channel, for example, and being able to monetize that, it has been a little bit difficult for a number of them. But moving on now, I'm looking at the bigger picture. Google, yeah, we are operating in a different world, business world right now. There's been proposals overally to introduce, you know, global minimum tax, and this is one of those, you know, industry topics that some people are pro, others against, because the tax jurisdictions vary from different places, countries. Others do not even have, you know, corporate tax, which is a good place to go and base your business. But looking at this proposal from where you are, what do you think about it?
Yeah, so for me, I believe as Google, we pay what is required from us by every government that we're in. And that's what we do. We pay what the government requires of us. But we also have our home country where we pay majority of our taxes there. And for the last 20 something years, we've been paying 26% taxes consistently. So we pay what is required for us from the government, and we pay most of it in our home country. And it's been 26% for several years now. So we will definitely comply with our government requirements, and we play by the book.
Now that's very important to note. There's nothing to fear from Google, as you assure us. Very important. And as we head to the tail end of this conversation, I understand there is the element of women-led businesses. And this looking in Africa in terms of women engagement in the world of business. Most women are concentrated in the informal sector, in the agricultural sector, but looking at the whole structure, it seems a little bit imbalanced. And you're doing something to, you know, tip that balance so that at least more women are brought into business and their businesses empowered. So far, how's that journey been?
So we really love our women and our youth and also our men as well. And we have programs this year to try and really empower and equip women by offering them digital skills, specifically targeted to help them learn how to become more successful in what they do. So we're offering this year a program that will be piloted across Africa to mentor 5,000 women over the next 6 months to give them the skills that they're required to be able to thrive. We just finished a program just last Friday with KEPSA and Eldo Hub in Eldoret, where 35 women were on our pilot program, were trained on digital skills, and now about to go into mentorship. And these women are brilliant. They have bright ideas, excellent case studies, and we're going to work with them to ensure that they go through one-to-one mentorship over the next 1 month and then support them to thrive in their businesses. So our goal is to try and do our best to help bring them up, because when you educate a woman, a whole community has gone through, will grow. So we want to really empower our women. We're offering them digital skills training, one-to-one mentorship, with the goal of helping them rise up to hopefully grow themselves and the communities around them.
That's very important. You've mentioned actually involving women more in your business. makes it even more successful, and it is a good thing. You've mentioned the element of youth there, and we understand majority of SMEs, you know, we know the youth are the players right in there, and we're having this thing we call gig economy. So, you know, you don't have to be always dressed in a suit. You know, you're at the comfort of your home in your pajamas. You, as long as you make your delivery, you're good to go, and utilizing the online platform. I mean, this has been touted as the future of work. Skill-wise, you mentioned, you know, if you find speciality in artificial intelligence, you know, online payment systems, if these are the areas that you operate, there is a high probability that, you know, your future is looking better. But just looking at the gig economy in Africa, where are we, and what's the future of it?
I think it's right now at that point where we're just about to come up. We just launched a product last year on pilot called TaskMate in Kenya as a pilot market. And this tool will help source small tasks of labor. So for example, I am currently, I want to get this business profile up and running, but I can't be able to go to this part of town. I say, fine, who is in town right now? Can you just go and take a picture of this building, post it onto this product, and I'll pay you 50 bob for every picture. So I'm a youth, I happen to be in town, for example, I can go take a picture of that building, I post it on this app, I get 50 bob. And it's working well. So we're able then to create employment, pay the youth, but offer them a chance to make small money leveraging small tasks. So it's currently going through beta production right now. Will be launched live in a few months. But overall, I believe the future of this is like, it's inevitable. It's going to transform the way we do work, how we create employment. We're calling it almost like digital outsourcing. So this is the future of work.
Definitely. So I should get myself ready to with an extra skill. You know, there's the issue of reskilling that has been spoken about, especially if you've been in the job market for a while. Sometimes you get a little bit comfortable, but COVID has shown us things can change, yeah, in a click. So in terms of reskilling, from an organizational perspective, maybe an SME leader is watching right now. I know Google, you offer some of the tools to help, but overall this reskilling conversation, how efficiently can that be done to realize its effectiveness in an organization?
Right, that's a good question. So my advice would be, if you're an SME and you want to learn a new skill, a lot of companies are offering complimentary training. So right now at Google, we offer a digital skills program where you can log onto our portal and pick a skill that you want to learn. Number one could be digital marketing, or you want to learn how to be an app developer, or you want to just learn some new skill around helping you become more employable. You can do it at your own time, at your own pace. At the end of it all, you're able to get a certificate that you can then say, I've qualified, I've passed my skills, I now have digital marketing under my umbrella. So when you have that now skill, you can then go and say to any company, if you want to outsource your social media marketing, I have the skills, what it takes, here's my certificate, I am available on demand. So I truly believe that this is the time to spread your wings and go out there and look for these small, low-hanging fruit. It would just require some element of time, maybe a few data bundles to log on or get some free Wi-Fi somewhere. Learn over a couple of weeks, get that certificate, go out, pitch yourself, get money on your hands.
And that's, I think it has been a very good conversation. Thank you very much. Rosemary Momanyi-Opiyo, who is the Google SME lead for East and West Africa. Thank you for your time. Wow. So with that said, of course, I have to fly away to spread my wings and go learn a new skill. That is inevitable if I want to survive and thrive in the near future and presently. Well, that has been our beat. Up next, we'll take a look at the markets, shall we?